This is our first video. They probably won't all be about Star Wars, but this one is about Star Wars. Why is it about Star Wars? Because it's 2016 and about 3 weeks ago, episode 7 was released and the whole world's very excited about it, and it's a proud time to be a Star Wars fan. I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan. It was the first film that I ever saw at the cinema when I was 5 years old. My mum and dad took me to see it and I was glued to it, and they thought, oh excellent, we've got a nice well-behaved child at the cinema. But they then took me to see Spider-Man and I just spent the whole time running around the aisles because that was shit. And then when I got a bit older, I used to deal in the vintage Star Wars toys and then some of the new Star Wars figures that came out around the time of the Phantom Menace. And that got me on the big breakfast because I was the first person in the country to get some of the new figures because I rule. And that's, oh no, I had a website, thephantommenace.com, with a hyphen between the and the Phantom, and on there I broke the first ever images that anyone had ever seen of some of the new things. And everyone,
you get sued by Lucasfilm.
Shh, we forget that bit. I beat him because I was an Ewok and he was a big evil empire, and I told him, look mate, I learned all that shit from you, so leave me alone. And they did, so it's brilliant. That's it. What about you, Vicky?
I only like Star Wars because if I didn't, he'd leave me.
Okay, as you can see, we've now got a dog. This is Scully. We've had to pick her up off the floor because we've got a little disabled cat who basically lives on the floor because she can't get on the floor. The only thing that she can get on, I'm sitting on. I'm sitting on the only thing that she can get on.
She just wants to be in the video.
I know, so the dog wanted to be in the video, so we've had to pick her up and bring her in the video. And she's, yeah, she's called Darth Scully. She's not really called Darth Scully, she's just called Scully. Well, I guess we should begin. This is going to have spoilers. It's 3 weeks since the film came out. If you've not seen the film, A, you're fucking retarded, go and see the film, and B, stop watching now because this is going to have some spoilers in it. Han Solo dies!
Well, you're not convinced he does.
Han Solo might die. Okay, so far we've seen the film 4 times. We saw it at 1 minute past midnight on the day of release, and that was in 3D, and that was quite nice. And then we saw it a few days later at a much smaller place, which was also 3D, and that was also very nice. Then on Boxing Day, we made my mum and dad take us to see it, and they booked us into 4D. We didn't know it was 4D until our seats started beating us up and all shit was flying in our faces and behind our heads and water and just everything. And at first it was a bit distracting, but then it was actually quite good fun.
He kept turning the water on. I kept turning the water off on my seat and he kept saying he was being cute and trying to hold my hand, but really you weren't, you were trying to turn the water on.
I was being cute.
Nice.
Oh, and we saw it the other day and we saw that in IMAX. And that was just phenomenal, IMAX. If you're going to see it in anything, see it in IMAX. That's about us and why we're here and why we're doing this. And I guess now that we'll talk about the film and what we're going to do, we're just going to talk about what we liked about the film, what we didn't like about the film, go through the plot, and then have a chat about what we think might happen in future episodes. Like I say, it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. We've got a list down here of roughly what we want to do. Got all the characters written down. And we'll go through, and first of all, we shall discuss each character. Vicky, Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
What did you think of Luke Skywalker in this episode?
But Luke Skywalker in this episode, we only see him for a few seconds right at the end, and he just basically looks moody.
But he looks like old Ben, which I think
does look like old Ben. Beardy and moody.
Yeah, but I think that's very deliberate, the fact that he looks like old Ben.
There's so many things that are deliberate from the old films in this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know, but I mean the way that he looks with the robes and the beard and everything like that. Yeah, I think that's definitely... Okay, so there's really just pretty much fuck all to say about Luke in this film. And
he does a good eyebrow twitch.
He does. Yeah. But his nose is a bit funny. Did you notice that? First time I ever saw it. It's because it's 3D. So it's there. And I was like, what the fucking hell's wrong with his nose? It's all sort of bulbous.
He's my nose is tickling.
Yeah. Han Solo.
Yeah, he was awesome.
It was probably the first time that we watched it. The best moment for me was when Han Solo walked on the Millennium Falcon and does his Chewie we're home bit and he looked like Han Solo, and he sounded like Han Solo, and he acted like Han Solo. He didn't act like Harrison Ford has acted in the last 20 years, where he just seems to be indifferent to everything that he does. This was Han Solo. This was proper.
There's a shot when he goes into the cockpit of the Falcon for the first time, and he's just stood there and he's got his hands on the back of the seats and he's grinning like, oh wow, I haven't seen this for years. And I wondered if they genuinely, that was like maybe a first take of, hey, guess what, you're going to go into the cockpit of the Falcon. And he's like, oh, I haven't seen that for years. And he goes in and it's a genuine, wow. Every time I've seen it, I've wondered that. I've wondered if that's a genuine reaction to being in that situation again as himself, not just acting as Han Solo.
What was also really nice was to see how he's progressed. And he's still Han Solo, but he's a wiser version of Han Solo. He's still cocky and arrogant, but he now believes in the Force. Whereas in the earlier films it was mumbo jumbo, like he says, but now he goes, yeah, okay, it's real, and I was a part of all of that.
Well, he has no choice but to believe in it now.
General Leia, no longer a princess. Will we find out what happened there? Probably.
Well, that guy said that she'd always be a prince, or to him she was royalty.
Yes. Yeah, and she was royalty, but what happened? Why was that taken away?
So they blew up our home planet.
Do you think that's all it was?
Yeah, they blew up all around.
So if they blew up...
If they blew up England, then the Queen would just be like, oh shit.
Like a lot of ladies in Hollywood, she's had her lips like fillers. I don't know if they have Botox in space. I also thought her acting was not as good as it was in the earlier films, because she's not done much for the past 30 years, acting wise. But having said that, it was great to see Carrie Fisher back. Do you agree?
Yes.
C-3PO, Anthony Daniels. Not in it very much. I'm a big C-3PO fan. I think that he's really funny. Anthony Daniels as well is very witty. If you've ever read anything by him, he's a really funny guy. He's very sarcastic, which is the sort of humour I like. I thought that C-3PO had one of the best lines in the film when he comes out and says, oh, you probably didn't recognise me because of my red arm. Classic 3PO, really.
Why does 3PO have a red arm?
I don't know.
I read that he's got a red arm in memory of a sacrifice made by another droid.
So it's a tributary red arm.
Apparently.
Okay.
What do you think?
R2-D2.
Yeah.
We didn't see much of R2-D2, which was a shame. We've got an R2-D2. Can you see it? Where is it?
There,
Up there. There you go. See it? Roughly there. Up there, there's an R2-D2. It's actually a phone, but it's broken. Because this is a Star Wars video, we thought we'd put it back there. It doesn't normally live there, it normally lives upstairs in the office. Yes, he was in low power mode throughout most of the movie. So, I guess we'll find out about that in future episodes as well.
They said he'd been in low power mode since Luke vanished.
Yeah, I don't know, was that a sulky low power mode, do you think? Or was that a...
No, it's... well...
Or do you think that, maybe when Luke, you see Luke in the flashback and he puts his hand on him, maybe when he's doing that he's saying, I'm gonna fuck off now, you won't see me for a bit, go to sleep, if anyone tries waking you up, especially that stupid gold robot, stay asleep.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Exactly. Chewbacca.
He hasn't aged a bit.
If anything, he looks younger. Yeah. His suit, the costume was much neater than older ones. He'd been slightly coiffured. Everyone in the fucking film had been slightly coiffured. When Kylo Ren took his mask off, it's like, woo!
Yeah,
no
my hair never looks like that when I take my helmet off.
No, and the same with Poe Dameron, lovely hair. Who else had lovely hair? Just those two, wasn't it?
They were the biggest offenders of lovely hair.
They were the biggest offenders of lovely hair. And Chewbacca. Did you know that a lot of the time we see Chewbacca, we're not actually seeing Peter Mayhew, the original Chewbacca, but we are seeing a new person in that outfit?
I did not know.
You did not know. Peter Mayhew, I believe, is about 71 now, and he's 6 foot whatever he is, 7 foot whatever he is, sorry. And when you're that tall, obviously all that weight bearing down on you for 70 years, it plays havoc on your joints and stuff. So he's not so active now. I was trying to spot the moments where they had the new guy and Peter Mayhew, and I think it's quite easy to spot if Chewbacca's being very active, then it's the new guy. If he's standing around going, "Rrr," then it's not the new guy. That was the worst Chewbacca impression. I can normally do a bit better than that.
I'll do it again.
I can't even, no.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
I could do a TIE fighter.
Go on.
No, I can't do a TIE fighter anymore. Fucking hell.
You sound like a fucked up
Right,
duck.
okay, Darth Vader, we go.
Yeah, okay, we go back to basics now.
And then a TIE fighter, we go, no. Okay, I scrap that, delete that. I'm sorry, puppy. She's used to a better TIE fighter impression than that. I shouldn't really even be trying. Because I'm talking too much, the throat needs to be relaxed to be a TIE fighter. Daisy Ridley, Ray. You're a girl.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the two of us, you're the one with the vagina, so therefore you probably have more to say about Ray than I do.
So no, she was awesome. She looked like a girl, but still managed to go around being independent and standing up for herself and, you know, repeatedly telling Finn, "Don't hold my hand." And, you know, looking after herself and looking after him. Yeah, it's nice to see her. You know, she wasn't a princess. She wasn't a victim. She wasn't overly feminist. She was just a girl who's looking after herself.
Do you think that if you were a little girl and you were seeing that you would be running around wanting to be like her?
Have you not seen my stuff?
I'm going to take that as a yes. She would. Vikki wants to be Ray, or at least she would do if it was Vikki from 20 years ago.
Oh come on, I haven't grown up that much.
My thoughts are, I thought that she was a revelation. I think that she is possibly my favourite character in the new film. Possibly. It's either her or Kylo Ren. And I thought that she was absolutely brilliant. I've not seen Daisy Ridley in anything else at all. But I thought she was a really good actress. And she brought a lump to my throat several times, which I'm not afraid to admit. Did she bring a lump to your throat?
No, but I'm not as emotional as you.
That is quite true. I cry everything. Finn! John
Yeah,
Boyega.
we like Finn. He's funny.
Finn is
very funny.
He's very funny. John Boyega, if you've seen an interview with him in real life, he's funny. He's got natural comic timing and he uses it so well in this film. The little interplays he does with Daisy when have you got a boyfriend? Your boyfriend? That little bit. And
yeah, I'm with the Resistance. This is what we look like. Well,
yeah,
not all of us,
yeah,
some of us.
Honest. Also, Captain Phasma, that bit. I'm in charge, and he gets all excited like that, and it's very good. So he's another brilliant addition to the franchise, as is BB-8.
Ah, BB-8 is basically the droid version of this dog. Small, noisy, playful, ridiculously cute.
We all saw BB-8 in the adverts, and we were all a bit worried, is that just stuck there because they want to make a toy and make a shitload of cash out of people buying this toy? Like the thumbs up. And it's not. It's a brilliant character. It's obviously comparisons to R2-D2. It's a little droid that you can't understand, but you get what emotion it's trying to give across, what point it's trying to give across. And easily the funniest bit in the film is when he does the little thumbs up. Everyone at that point in the cinema, first time we watched it, cracked up. It was so funny. Unexpected and funny. And I'm glad that they've brought that sense of humour back to Star Wars where it belongs, because the prequels,
Or just
no
moody
humour.
and everyone was having their period the whole time.
Yeah. And to be honest, like the prequels, everyone's down on the prequels, and there's bits of them I like. They've not aged well, I don't think. The CGI doesn't hold up. Okay, we're back again with the dog, because we put the dog on the floor and immediately she went to hassle the little cat, and the little cat is now fucked off.
Oh, she's down there.
Oh, is she? Oh no, little cat's down there. I would pick her up, but Rambo does not like to be touched. If it's not been sanctioned and if you've not received some sort of memo in triplicate, just don't touch Rambo. Oh, that's right, we were talking about the prequels. CGI's not aged well, humourless. And I know it's a story that George Lucas wanted to tell, and obviously hats off to him because he's brought us this universe that we all love so much. So I'm not going to bitch and moan about him or about the prequels too much, but they did mean that if you said, hey, I like Star Wars, and you were talking to a 20-year-old, that 20-year-old's only experience would probably have been the prequels, and they'd be thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, now they know what we're talking about.
Kylo Ren is a proper moody teenager, but in a good way.
Have you seen the things online where they've done like an emo?
I think I've seen a couple.
There's a good one, mate. It's emo Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker having a little back and forth, which is quite funny. Kylo Ren, like I said, is probably my joint favourite character. I liked the unpredictable nature of him. He reminded me of a typical young man, but who just happens to have one of them. And it was great that first time where he's just trashing his room.
Yeah, he just has tantrums.
Yeah, we've all done that, right? Trashed our rooms. So that was great. And Adam Driver is a fantastic actor in that. It's unfortunate that we've both seen Girls, so we've both seen his penis, which is a bit of a distraction because nobody wants to see Kylo Ren's penis, not unless it's red and glowing. There's a film and they have glowing condoms in it and the lights go off and you just see them dancing around and
yes.
It's like lightsabers. I like that. That wasn't in the Star Wars movie. I don't know where that came from. I think the way that he holds himself is really good. He has the part slouchy, not stroppy teeth, but sort of just a bit slouchy and burly, as well as the sort of more open and I fucking rule kind of poses. And later on in the film where he's just like punching himself, I thought that was really good. I like that bit. Poe Dameron.
Oh, we like Poe.
Yeah, there's not much to say at this point. He was originally just going to be a minor character in this film, but I think that they liked Oscar Isaac's performance so much that they've decided to, as the story went on, they decided that, hey, you know, he would be another good lead character.
Just the most optimistic and cheerful character.
Yeah, he is. And also he's obviously a Han Solo kind of character. He's got that the cockiness. Again, the opening line that he gives, or one of the opening lines that he gives when he's captured by Kylo Ren, and he's there and he's going, "Who talks first? I talk first. You talk first." And just that little bit there, that told you everything that you needed to know about that character right there. Except for he's an actor. I'm not an actor, which is why I stumbled over my words there. Unka Plut, who, for those of you who don't know, is played by Simon Pegg, and Unka Plut is the "I will give you a quarter portion." That guy. Obviously, he is the person who's been responsible for Rey on the planet. You hear his voice in the flashback, so I think there's probably a bit of backstory there that we don't know. Is he something to do with Kylo Ren? Is he something to do with the New Order? I guess we'll find out.
He deals in stolen goods. We know that he stole the Millennium Falcon.
He's obviously a dodgy character.
Kind of reminds me of Jabba. Just, you know, he's big and fat and dodgy.
Yeah.
And, you know, puppety sort of, well, not puppet, but costume character. Red lights back on.
This is the first time we've used this camera that you're watching us on, and there's probably a setting or something that we've not looked at yet, and it just went did it and turned itself off. So I don't know how long that was. Maybe that was half an hour, and it says, "Look, we've had you for half an hour. Fucking leave me alone." But we're back. Okay, we're on to Lor San Tekka, who I don't think his name is ever mentioned in the film, but that's the character that Max von Sydow plays, who's the old guy right at the beginning.
The guy that the Resistance go to get the map to lead them to Luke.
Ming the Merciless, we all know him best as, obviously. Oh, that's Ming.
Yeah.
From the 80s Flash Gordon.
Well, I think I'm from the 80s Flash Gordon, but I didn't know that.
It's Ming. Oh, well, there you go. Maybe you didn't know that either. So there's not really anything to say about him at this point.
He has a beard.
He has a beard.
He gets killed.
I don't know if he will be in future episodes in flashback, because obviously he's very, very old. But maybe they filmed his bits already. Or maybe that's it for him.
That's kind of harsh.
It's true though.
Like, dead. It's harsh.
It's harsh. Okay. Sorry, Matt. Captain Phasma.
We like Captain Phasma.
We do, but there wasn't enough of Captain Phasma. That's probably the biggest surprise and complaint that I've seen from everyone. But it's a character that's going to be back. Her, Poe Dameron. You know, they're two characters, they're new characters, they're good characters, they're going to be in episode 8. So, shut the fuck up, just wait and see what happens.
If they get her out of the trash compactor.
Of course they will. I found her voice a bit annoying, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
What about it?
I don't know, I just
She
find...
sounded slightly smug the whole time.
Yeah, there's just something about her voice that I don't like. But,
She needs to change the settings on her mask.
yeah, she needs to just pitch it down a little bit. Just be a bit, like, moodier. Instead of all, like...
Passive aggressive.
Yeah,
Pissy.
yeah, what's that about? Know yourself, Phasma. Maz Kanata or Kanata. Mars. Maz. We say
Mars.
Maz, they say Mars. Do you like Maz?
Yeah, I like Maz.
Yeah. I
Nice.
didn't like Maz when I first saw her, an obvious CGI character, which part of me thinks it's a shame. It would have been quite good fun if she was a little puppet like Yoda. The more I see her, the more I like her, and I love the actress whose voice, I think the voice is absolutely brilliant. She's getting across a lot with that voice. She also says one of the more intriguing things in the film when she says, "That's a question for another time," and talking about Luke's saber. So I guess in future episodes we'll find out why Maz has the saber. Moving on to now, Supreme Leader Snoke. Andy Serkis. Circus?
Yes. Huge, giant hologram character.
Who I think, like Wizard of Oz style, is probably only about that tall. Again, obvious CGI. Again, the more I've seen it, the more I've liked it. Andy Serkis is as good as he is in all of those sorts of things. I particularly like the way he's sort of sitting back a bit and his hand's up there, he's resting his hand, he's kind of just like that. I like that. That's a good little bit, that. And I guess he's an evil motherfucker. I saw a thing online today that had a picture of Anakin Skywalker when the mask has been taken off at the end of Jedi. And you've got Sebastian Shaw there looking all, and he's got the little hamster bits there, and they've put that next to a picture of Snoke. And because they're two old wrinkly dudes, people are saying, "Oh, it's going to be Darth Vader." I don't think it's going to be Darth Vader. It's a new character. People can come up with new characters. They're all not going to be linked to the past. Actually, yes, it is Darth Vader. Definitely Darth Vader. And what I will do in a year's time or something like that, when episode 8 comes, I'll cut one of those bits out so it looks like I know what I'm talking about. Finally, General Hux.
He's the unloved redhead stepchild.
He is, absolutely. My brother said something to me. He said that he found it a bit annoying that the two sort of big leaders of the New Order were barely out of their teens.
Yes.
Which I guess
Sure,
he has a point. Maybe they just rose fast through the ranks, or maybe they learned the hard way with Peter Cushing in New Hope, that maybe old wasn't always best.
I just think he got the part by being angrier than everyone else.
Yeah, I thought his Hitler rally sort of speech that he did, the Nuremberg rally bit, I thought that was really good, except for he lost his accent at one point, and he lost all the power when he went, "New Order!" And he just sounded exactly like Rick Mayall from The Young Ones, if you've ever seen The Young Ones.
I think it was
That's
just
what he
his
sounded
obsessiveness coming through. His
yeah. It was good. He's a good
evil.
character. He's a good character, and I look forward to seeing more of
There
him
is
in
a
future
kind of like
episodes.
a sibling rivalry thing going on between him and Kylo Ren, where they're sort of like vying for position, and trying to
There's a
knock each
definite
other
willy
down
fight waiting to
and
happen there.
making snide comments and digs at each other the whole time.
That's the name of episode 8. You can reveal it here first. It will be Star Wars Episode 8, The Willy Fight. That's definite. Is there anything you'd like to say about the opening crawl, Vikki?
It was yellow.
It was yellow. I actually learned today what font that was.
What was it?
It was, I can't remember. No, it's Gothic something. Franklin Gothic
Stark
Bold or something like that. Because I at the beginning of this video, there's a red flashing light.
What does that mean?
That there, see it?
Mm.
You probably can't see it, but we can see it. I'm pointing at it right there. Probably means a low battery. I liked the opening crawl. It was simple. It told you everything that you needed to know about what was coming up. It was a proper opening crawl. There was nothing about tax or trade federations or anything.
No, it was very simple and straightforward, and
it was proper Star Wars. The opening battle on Jakku.
One of the most telling things for me, something that stuck out, was just after the battle when they're leaving the planet, and Kylo Ren's just like, kill them all.
Yeah.
Execute all the villagers.
That was not very Star Wars.
No, but they blow up planets and shit with people on, but you don't normally have a sort of...
I don't mean not very Star Wars in a bad way. Just because we've never seen it before in Star Wars, that doesn't mean it's bad, but it's quite shocking for a Star Wars film and the beginning of a Star Wars film. Yeah, that was very much a tyrannical thing.
Theoretically, they were actors, so they didn't really get killed.
Yeah, they were all right. I liked seeing the stormtroopers in the thing. As they were coming in.
Someone's breaking in, or Rex is knocking shit over.
I'll use this as an opportunity to...
Alright.
Oh god, I've got to actually... Is it going to be accessible, or is it going to be on the bottom? Oh, it's going to be on the bottom. Enter Scavenger Ray. I like the way that we first saw her, and we saw her, the eye visors made from old stormtrooper things. That was really good, and then just seeing her climbing around inside Nata.
You didn't know if she was human or not at first. You didn't know, before you took her mask off, you didn't know if she was human or a Jawa or...
Yeah, and then just seeing her on her own, living inside an AT-AT, and she's got her little doll there, and just that lonesome scavenger existence of hers. Yet she doesn't look like she feels sorry for herself.
Yeah.
She's scrubbing her thing, and she looks over at the old woman who's doing the same, and you just see that look, and she's thinking, I don't want to be doing this when I'm her age. And that's very much in the Luke tradition of, I don't want to be a farmer forever. Poe's escape with Finn. I liked seeing the TIE fighters all docked like that.
I liked seeing a stormtrooper without a mask on.
Yeah, something that we've not seen since A New Hope, I guess. I can't remember if they did that in Empire or Jedi. I know in Jedi we saw their helmets off at the end and the Ewoks playing the drums on them, but I don't think we saw a human face again under the mask. So yeah, that was really good. I should have mentioned I like the blood.
Just so it marked him out.
Yeah, it marked him out, but that was also, again, blood.
Yeah, these are human.
You don't see very much.
Creatures anyway, not necessarily human, but alive.
But I also liked they were very good at building that relationship very quick. The one between Finn.
Well, Poe is just ridiculously enthusiastic and optimistic and happy, and Finn is just very excitable and
But I liked one of the first interchange where he says, "No, you just need a pilot." And he's like, yes, I just need a pilot. I like that. That was really good. I like the introduction, Rey and Finn. I think that was really funny, and that right there as well, that set up their whole relationship.
Yeah, Finn runs in thinking he was going to have to rescue this poor damsel in distress, and then stands there and watches as she proceeds to beat the crap out of two guys who were trying to mug her for BB-8.
And then does the same thing to him.
And then beats the crap out of him because BB-8 says that Finn is wearing Poe's jacket.
And then, I've just I've got chewing gum. I've probably got a cow chewing cud or something. I think when you see her fighting with the staff, that sets you up for later on in the film when she's got a lightsaber and she's not totally shit with it. You can say, well, hey, you just yawned. Vikki just tried to suppress a yawn, everyone. Supreme Leader Snoke, is he a giant? Is he not a giant? We find out that Han is Kylo Ren's dad through him. Was that a surprise?
Only tiny surprise.
Yeah, I think that everyone probably kind of guessed beforehand that he was going to be related to Han and Leia. I think we all probably knew it was going to be son.
So you have to have a relative on the dark side. You just have to. It's Star Wars law.
I've got one. You've got one. Do you think that Snoke is a giant?
No.
Does it bother you? Would it bother you if he was a giant?
No.
For some reason, I see this a lot online. People are saying that when they first saw Snoke, they were like, oh my god, he's a giant. Like, that would be a big problem for people. And I don't understand that, just because we've not had a giant before in Star Wars. Yeah. If he is a giant, it doesn't matter, people. It'll still be a good film. How did you like the Millennium Falcon intro?
I loved it.
When they said, not that ship, it's garbage, did you know that they were talking Millennium Falcon? I'm not sure if I had enough time between that and the other ship blowing up to kind of cotton on what they were talking about.
Did you recognise it straight away?
What, the Falcon?
Yeah, when I had the sheets and crap all over it, yeah. That looks familiar.
It was great when they went inside it again for the first time and seeing inside it for the first time since Jedi. I thought that was really good. I liked that a lot. Figuring out how to fly the thing and crashing it everywhere, and I just thought that was very exciting. That
was one of my favourite scenes in the whole film, is her and Finn figuring out how to fly the Falcon, use the guns, be chased by the two TIE fighters, and
yeah. And there's when she's flying through the AT-AT, and that's obviously reminiscent of in Jedi when they're flying through the Death Star to blow Death Star 2 out of 3 up. And of course at that point Han and Chewie comes on board. We spoke about that already. I particularly liked the interplay between Rey and Han Solo. I thought that was really good. Dog disappears, dog reappears because she can't behave.
Just behaves badly.
One of my least favourite bits in the film is the gangs that come on board.
Oh yeah.
I like
Culture Club and
yeah, Culture Club
and I don't know, Disco Forever.
Yeah, I like the masks.
Yeah. The
red and at first I thought the masks were very Flash Gordon-y. I thought like 80s Flash Gordon. I since read in the Art of Force Awakens that was actually a possible mask for Kylo Ren. I'm glad they didn't pick that, but I did like it as a sort of military soldier mask. I thought that was really good. I like the Scottish guy. He was funny.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah. I liked the Culture Club. I like the Culture Club.
Yeah.
They're from the Raid.
What were the other ones called?
I can't remember. I really can't remember. I'm sure I'll quickly Google it and put it up on the screen down there if I remember. I didn't like the CGI monsters.
No.
I didn't understand why they were there. I didn't understand the point of them, apart from just a little set piece, which was nice. It's not necessarily that it didn't look like a very Star Warsy monster, because it the mouth kind of reminded me of the Sarlacc pit. I just didn't think it was a particularly good, scary looking monster.
It's just a ball with tentacles and a big mouth.
Yeah, I think the reason they did it as a ball was so you saw Han Solo running away from it, and it was like the beginning of Indiana Jones. That's my theory behind why they were that shaped. It did mean that you got to see Rey in action a bit more. First releasing the damn things, but then kind of saving the day. And then my favourite bit, I think, or one of my favourite bits in the whole film, is that little bit after that when she and Han are flying and she's there and she pulls off the condenser or whatever it is, and she's so proud of herself, and she sits there and she sort of says, I did this.
I bypassed it.
Yeah. And his reaction is a typical Han Solo reaction, and she just has that sort of slightly disappointed look. That was a really...
She looked very disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of myself, and I didn't get acknowledged.
Yeah. That was a really good little bit. Death Star 3. What did you think of Death Star 3? Did it bother you there was a Death Star 3?
Well, it wasn't called Death Star 3. It was
I know it was Star Killer Base, which is a throwback to Luke originally being called Luke Star
People
Killer.
were complaining about them using things from A New Hope over again, and it's good. We like it. If they basically regurgitate like next film completely, then it would get a bit annoying. But this time, there's just all these touches from the original film that work.
My theories are: 1, it was a plot device that they knew worked, so it wouldn't scare away us old farts that
You old fuck.
that were annoyed at the Phantom Menace and so on. 2, when you build a bomb and then you try and build a bigger bomb and then you try and build a bigger bomb, is it not just
It did work differently from the Death Star.
Yeah.
It was, okay, so it was like a really big Death Star, but it didn't do what the Death Star did. It sucked up suns and used their energy to destroy.
And also,
planets.
if you are a power that is trying to take over the universe, you don't have many options. You you either build some great big huge weapon that can explode planets up, or you send shitloads of troops to each planet. And one is a bit more efficient than the other. They've just got to learn to put some sort of covering over the bit that is going to blow the fucking thing up.
I like that they're now having a little war council bit, and it's like, okay, how do we blow it up?
Yeah, there's always a way to blow it up.
There's always a way to blow it up.
Yeah. That's it, it's tongue in cheek. That's what Star Wars is about, It's not serious, it's not serious science. It's just a really good, fun space adventure. And if you take it too seriously, you're just completely fucking missing the point. It's not Star Trek or Doctor Who, it's Star Wars. We're talking about the Death Star 3, and when it blows up the planets, it takes them out like, it's almost like Paul when you see I thought that was really good. And when you see the people on the planet, seeing it come towards them, there's nothing they can do about it.
There's lots of people stood on a balcony.
Yeah.
And they focus on one woman for quite a long time. Who is she?
I don't know, I think that they're just focusing on one woman, so you get this sort of human...
Oh no, she's going to be someone. She's going to be like someone's wife or daughter or something. Like
maybe.
I
think they just wanted to pick out someone that, someone you could relate with, rather than a crowd of people which are a bit more sort of indistinguishable. You don't relate to a crowd of people, you relate to one person. I'm just wondering with the eye line, if you look at that or look at the screen, what difference it makes. I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'll have to see, because I'm sort of looking at myself on the screen, I think, but it might make it look so I'm looking slightly up. We now go to Takodana, and Han offers Rey the job. One of my favourite bits again.
Well, he wasn't offering, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, thinking about offering a job, because Chewie likes you and stuff like that. I thought, I loved. I loved Rey's reaction in that bit.
Excitement and then sadness, and she's like, no, fine.
Yeah.
I can't leave Jakku.
But that really showed off her acting chops. And obviously we meet Maz in that place. I like, you walk in and you think that it's going to be a big intro, like when you go into the cantina and you're having a look at, but it's just like, no, she just senses Han. So she must have a bit of the Force. I'd not really thought about that before.
Well, she's like 1,000 years old. Well, she's been running that place for 1,000 years, so I don't know how old she is, but at least 1,000 years.
She's at least
so
1,020.
She's picked up a few tricks.
Yeah. But so either Han smells funny or she's Force sensitive and she could sense it's Han Solo. I'm not even going to attempt the accent because it would probably be racist or something. So I didn't like Maz at first, but I do like Maz now. So there you go. That little bit on there was quite good. I spent a lot of my time trying to work out if it's half an apple that Rey is trying to eat. It looks like half an apple with
crab paste on it or something.
Or a little green fir tree. obviously then we have the flashback that she goes and finds Luke's saber and she touches it and starts having flashbacks, and there's a lot of intriguing things in the flashbacks. We see Kylo Ren and his, you know, Knights of Ren have just killed a shitload of people, probably Jedis. Always interesting that the lightsabers don't go out in the rain. I wonder what the science is behind that. But then I remember that it's Star Wars and it doesn't really matter because it's not Star Trek and it's not Doctor Who. Maz, at that point, she says about the saber, after we've had the flashback, says that was Luke's saber and his father's before him. And now it calls for you. And that sort of pregnant pause is there where it's just a weighted comment, and that to me is the line that says yes, definitely Rey is Luke's daughter.
I'm standing by that one Christmas, like, you know, Han Solo and Leia and Luke all got together and it was just like a family Christmas, and they all had a bit too much to drink, and Luke and Leia sort of found out what happened if they went beyond that first initial kiss, and everyone was too embarrassed to talk about it, and then Rey was born and they was like, shit, just put her on Jakku, no one talk about it, no one talk about it. So that's my theory.
So you think that Star Wars Episode 8
is really incestuous?
Right, okay. Well, that'll be interesting. We'll see how the fanboys complain about that one.
Bring it.
Probably love it. First Order attack, and they capture Rey. There's the rescue by the Resistance.
I like where Finn is commenting on the pilot being really good, not knowing that it's Poe, because he thinks Poe's dead.
Yeah.
That guy can fly, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was kind of cheesy, but somehow they managed to get away with it.
I like that Finn was going after Rey, even though he just attempted to.
And I like the stormtrooper that's got that thing that the lightsabers can defend against. And again, that comes up later on in the film when you see Finn fighting with a lightsaber. You know, we've just seen a stormtrooper do some sort of battle where they're obviously trained in lightsaber defense. So it's not too much of a leap to think that he might be quite good with a lightsaber.
But aren't lightsabers referred to in one of the previous films as the weapon for the Jedi?
Possibly.
So why isn't everyone using them?
Everyone isn't using them.
Well, the stormtroopers have like a sort of version of a lightsaber and like.
No, that's like a thing to fight the lightsaber.
But it has the light.
It's got a around it, but I think that's like almost like a force field against lightsaber.
I think someone's just figured out how to make them and is just ripping them off.
Maybe. If Lucasfilm hear about that, there's going to be hell to pay. I really like the first encounter between Kylo Ren and Rey, where he freezes her. I like that we're seeing new ways that the Force is being used. We've not seen the freezing bit before, and we've not seen the pausing the lasers before. I thought that was really cool. And then he's holding the thing at her throat, but he doesn't kill her because he thinks that he can get the map information that he needs. Takes her back to the base. He's got her on the chair.
He uses the Force to knock her out.
Yeah, it uses the Force to knock her out. Yeah, I like the way they did that.
It was very good. It was smooth movement. It's an unconscious catch.
Yeah, it was like a magician or something, wasn't it? Yeah, that was good, like a hypnotist. When she's in the chair and that bit there where he's doing that, he's got his head down.
Like he's concentrating.
Yeah, you see him thinking, and then you get an idea. I've got another idea, and what are you doing there? And I liked that little bit, but then she starts to resist.
He takes his mask off as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and reveals like bouffant hair. All of that bit, I love all of that. That little bit between them, I think it's so well acted, and there's not many words, but you don't need the words because it's just really, really well acted.
Just like it when she sort of realises she can resist fully and tells him that he's afraid that he won't live up to Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even mention when he's got the Darth Vader mask.
Okay, so he has a Darth Vader mask.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've all got Darth Vader masks, but he's the proper one.
He's the one like after Darth Vader was all killed and melted up and that, so it's ruined and twisted.
And some pissed Ewok probably got it out of the fire and stuck it up on whatever Star Wars eBay is, and Kylo Ren's there and he's got a safe search for it, and one day it's like, it's come up.
I have like Facebook statuses, like Kylo Ren was like, shifted to the dark side.
Yeah.
LOL. And then, like, you know when they do like your memories things on Facebook, and so like Leia's Facebook thing, every like once a year it goes, remember that time you kissed your brother.
Oh. Back on track, Vikki. Seeing Han Solo and Leia together is nice. I thought that a lot of the exposition at this point was clunky because they had a lot of, it was very unnatural. They both know they had a child. They both know what happened to him.
Our son.
Yeah.
Our. You and me had a son.
Yeah. Obviously, it needs to be explained to the cinema audience.
Our son.
That is the problem with exposition in cinema. It's switched off again. Yeah, we were talking about the exposition dialogue, that it was clunky, but necessary because they had to explain to all us viewers who everyone was. Rey escaping using her Jedi mind trick. This is obviously something that she must have pre-learned.
I don't know, again that seemed kind of clunky. It was like, because she wasn't even sure that the Force existed until she was on the Falcon, and Han Solo was like, yeah, it's true, all of it. And she's like, oh, awesome, wow, the Force is real. Because if she'd pre-learned it, then she'd like, yeah, I know the Force is real. But on the Falcon, he's like, it's real, all of it, and she's there going, most exciting thing I've ever heard.
I think that she's had some lessons from Luke when she was a kid, and she just doesn't remember, and it's coming back to her, and she was on that thing and she thought, hang on a minute, I seem to remember that I could do things with the power of my mind. Or I remember when Dad told me about this bloke called Ben who said, these are the droids you're looking for, and I might try that.
I think she just heard all the stories and she was trying her luck because she had nothing else to do.
Maybe. It was good finding out that stormtrooper was Daniel Craig though. I like little Easter eggs like that. I think are really cool. When she's escaped and she's creeping through the Starkiller base and she's got her gun up like that, she's all hunched down, and it was just like Carrie Fisher in A New Hope, and I can only assume that that's deliberate.
There are many shots that were exactly like they've been copied from A New Hope.
Yeah, we've had the little bit where there's like, it's just another Death Star. No, that's a Death Star. This is the new thing. And then they go, yeah, there's got to be a way to blow it up. And then Han and Chewie and Finn go down on the planet.
Out the shield.
And they're standing outside, and he finds out that Finn's just basically the guy that wipes the toilet seats. And he's all stroppy with him, and then Chewbacca's sort of, and Han. I can't do it. That Chewbacca does, he's like gruff, insert Chewbacca noise here, does his noise, and then he said, and Han says, you're cold.
So what was the thing then? Was that why Chewie kept giving him that cloak?
Yeah, well, later on.
Yeah, he just kept repeatedly giving him that cloak.
Yeah, I guess so. You're gonna be cold, fucking put this on.
Yeah.
Han versus Kylo on the bridge. I hate the fact there's no railings. I find that really distracting.
Just like, for fuck's sake, they want to use the thing to blow shit up, so health and safety obviously isn't an issue for them. They don't care about people dying, so...
I know, but it's a long bridge, and if you've got vertigo, you're going to want something to... And what about the slightly older stormtroopers?
I wouldn't go on it.
It would only cost a little bit of extra, and they could have had railings, and then maybe Han wouldn't have fallen off, but... That's by the by. Did you know it was coming?
Yes.
When? As soon as you saw him in the middle of the bridge?
Yes.
I think that's pretty much when I thought it's going to happen. The first time I saw it, I didn't feel very much. I wasn't very surprised. I wasn't overly impressed by the way he died. Subsequent viewings, I found it a bit more emotional because I understood the relationship between them a bit more. I think if they'd had some sort of scene between Kylo Ren and Han beforehand to establish them, I think it would have had more resonance. Also in subsequent viewings, I think the things that Kylo Ren says to Han beforehand could be taken either way.
Oh yeah.
I was quite surprised that I didn't have any sort of emotional reaction to Han dying, because he's one of my favourite characters, and you know, so they must have not quite hit the nail on the mark there. But we knew it was coming because Harrison Ford's been saying for 30 years that, you know, kill me off in Jedi, and he didn't get killed off in Jedi. So when we heard it was coming back, you knew it was on the terms that you kill me off in this fucking film. Give me a bunch of money, then kill me off in this film. But is he really dead? I have a nice little theory that I would love to see play out, that Kylo Ren is just a massive Darth Vader fan, and they've like got Han's body and they turn him into like a robot, and he has him like hoovering or something, and he's...
I read a theory whereby Kylo Ren, because he's going on about how he's torn and how it hurts him and he just wants it to end. And so, you know, you initially, the first time you view it, you think that he wants his father to help him turn to the light. And then next time you watch it, and every time after you think, no, he thinks killing his father will help him become fully dark and will end his pain and torment, because it will just remove all traces of the light, so he's just going to be an evil bastard. So we think that maybe Han is complicit in helping him, but not realising what his son really wants. I had a theory that Kylo Ren wants to kill his father to get right to Snoke, to get right over to the dark side, so he can take it down from the inside. And that's why he wants Rey to help him, because you need light and the dark, so he needs to be fully dark and she's fully light, and together they can reunite the Force and end everything.
The emotional reaction that I had was when Chewie yelled.
Oh yeah, he's a Wookiee now.
That was the first time that I had an emotional reaction to Han's death, was when Chewie... You've heard me, I'm not going to try it again. But then he just goes fucking crazy, 8 bonkers, just starts shooting everyone. And
do you find it slightly annoying that he manages to get like a glancing blow off of Kylo Ren and then take out like every other stormtrooper he aims at?
Well, no, he did get him in the stomach.
Yeah,
he had armour
he was on the side.
He's got armour on.
Yeah, but so were the stormtroopers.
No, but we've seen stormtroopers out there. That's lightweight armour. That's not defensive armour. He's a knight. Kylo Ren is a knight. So he wears like armour. Star Killer Base is now going to get blown up thanks to Chewbacca, and they all go out in the snow. I love that bit. It looks so picturesque. Seeing the snow and seeing the lightsabers, it looks really nice. It's almost Japanese in the way it looks. Kylo Ren's got kind of a Japanese samurai sort of shape to him. It's like the initial Ralph McQuarrie sketches of Darth Vader, if you've ever seen them, quite similar. And seeing the snowfall, and it's almost like cherry blossom, you know, the real Japanesey. I thought that was really nice, and it was a good fight. Like I say, seeing him go like that, he's winding himself up. He's going in for...
I don't think he was winding himself up.
Don't you?
I think he's hurting himself. I think he's punishing himself. He's just killed his father. He's punishing himself.
Do you think it's punishing?
Yeah, I think he's conflicted. He's crazy conflicted.
Right. Maybe.
He's so torn. He thought that killing his father would end the conflict him, but it hasn't. Yeah. He's killed his father, and he just feels bad for killing his father. He's just made himself feel worse.
I think maybe
he's going to go completely fucking mental. He's going to go schizo.
It might be what he needs to do to get himself in a fighting mood.
But he's been fighting before, and he hasn't been punching himself in the side.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything like that, and his behaviour was completely deranged as well.
Yeah.
You know, he was not in control of himself like he has been. He wasn't more calm and like witty. He was just, you know, screaming and ranting and smashing himself in the side.
Do you think when he defeated Finn, do you think that he thought he'd killed him?
I think he left him to die. I don't know if he thought he was dead or not, but he was disabled.
Because he could have just finished him off if he wanted to.
No, because the lightsaber had been chucked over, hadn't it?
Finn's lightsaber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, you know...
He was down. He was out of the battle.
Yeah. So just, now I want that lightsaber. That was his focus, was the lightsaber.
Yeah.
So all his attention was on that. Yeah, probably. And that was a good bit where I saw it moving. I used to try and do that when I was a kid after seeing Empire Strikes Back for the first time. I honestly used to sit on my bed and I would see an object and I would go like that, and I would try and will that object with all my might into my hands, and it didn't once fucking work. But I liked that, and I knew that it was going to Rey. I've heard some people thought that was the moment that Luke was going to be there, and again, people say, oh, she was too good with a lightsaber. Did you fucking watch it? She was shit. She was like that. She was trying to poke him with it. was rubbish. He wasn't trying to kill her.
No,
They're
he
cousins
wanted her
or something.
to, like I was saying, that kind of fits in with my theory about he wants her to join him, so they got the light and the dark to take down.
Well, no, he says, I want to train you onto the dark side when they're up close.
Does he say the dark side?
I think so, yeah. I think so. You can confirm this or not. But yeah, he's not trying to kill her. He just wants her on his side.
He probably has got this big empty space to fill now, seeing as he just killed his father and he feels pretty lonely. So it's like, oh shit, I killed my father. I can make up for it by being nice to my cousin.
Because if she is Luke's kid, he trained with Luke, so he's gonna know about her. You know, maybe when he fucked off, maybe that's at the moment that she fucked off as well, or was dumped off, or whatever it is that we're going to find out in episode 8. It was a good fight, and when the planet splits, and they're both on opposite, like a big chasm has come between them. You know, it's very symbolic. Which I thought was good. And I like that as soon as that's done, she's just like, oh right, okay, we're done. And she just fucking, that's it, she's off.
Well, she's got to maintain her light. She can't, killing him was like, giving into anger, and anger leads to the dark side.
Yeah.
Of that. So it takes that.
Well, no, her priority was
to get to Finn,
to get back to Finn.
But the planet split, it takes that option away from her as well. Because otherwise they'd be like, why didn't she kill him when she had a chance? Because, it's like, it's the dark side.
Do you think that Kylo Ren knows who she is?
Yes.
So you think he knows that's Luke Skywalker's daughter?
Yes.
Assuming it is.
Dog has just farted.
Nice. Lucky this isn't smell-o-vision, folks. This was one bit that I thought was a bit weird, was when, after Han's been killed, Chewie goes back to Takodana for the first time and walks past Leia, and she doesn't even acknowledge him. And that was clearly just a missed opportunity. Maybe they filmed something.
Maybe Chewie thinks that she knew it was gonna happen.
No,
maybe.
I think it's a simpler thing than that. I think it was just a forgotten moment.
I think he blames.
Maybe they filmed out of sequence and they didn't really think that through.
Maybe. Or maybe they knew that there was a risk that he might try and... Because, there's a whole thing of patricide in Star Wars. It's a running theme. So maybe sending father off to meet the son who's joined the dark side was a bit risky. So maybe he blames her.
She's pissed and she doesn't want to. Yeah. I don't know. We just have to assume that there was some really nice thing that went on at some other point,
They had a really long conversation on Skype before they landed.
Bear in mind, this is the bitch that didn't give Chewie a medal in A New Hope. So maybe she's just always, it's a fucking bear. I know he's your mate, but he's a bear. That's probably what it is. Yeah. I noticed, and I know you didn't notice this, and maybe you didn't notice this, that when Rey is leaving, when Rey and Chewie are leaving, C-3PO has got his gold arm back.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they filmed a scene where he got his arm back and then just left it out or something. It seems weird. I know he says, I've got to put my arm back on.
I think they deliberately did the whole arm thing just to have people talking.
Just so people on the internet could go, did you see he's got a red arm? What's that all about? Or stuff like this. We're on to the last scene where she goes and finds Luke at the Jedi Temple.
And Luke looks moody.
Do you think Luke immediately knows who she is? When he's standing there, is he there having his last quiet moment before he thinks, oh shit, all hell's going to break loose now?
Yeah, he would have known. He's all like...
Going to get away from everyone and I've been found.
The Force is calling him and that.
At what point do you think he knows who it is? Straight away?
I think he knows before she lands.
Do you?
Yeah.
Not when she holds out the saber, because his reaction changes at that
Maybe
point.
he wasn't expecting the lightsaber. Maybe he didn't know the Force was going to be in her, and so when she appears with the lightsaber, he was like, oh, the Force has called her.
Again, she did some nice acting in that bit. There was a pleading on her face.
Does this help to save the universe?
Yeah. Strange that Leia didn't go with him,
Again, because of the awkward situation that Christmas when they got really drunk and, and they just don't really talk to each other since then.
That's pretty much the discussion about the film itself. I should mention a bit of fan service that I thought was unnecessary, and that was the chessboard thing. I didn't need that. I'm a massive Star Wars fan, and when boom, that popped up, I didn't need to see that.
That was a bit blatant. There were lots of way more subtle things.
Yeah. The only thing that was cool about that was that apparently it was the very next move.
Huh.
See, that's why they do it. So you see it and you think, and then they reveal a bit of information.
Well, I didn't mind it that much. No. I know once people were complaining.
I liked when you picked up the.
Yeah. I spotted that the first time, and you didn't spot it the first.
No, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that I would change. I don't mind the fact that it strongly mirrored A New Hope. I think there was so much to introduce, so many new characters, that to throw in a plot that you don't know would just make it harder to follow what was going on.
I think that's what I wrote wrong with the prequels. They made them overly political, and you kind of lost track of who's doing what now. It was just very straightforward. It was very, very simple. Bad guys trying to take over the universe, good guys stop them.
Yeah. I read an essay yesterday talking about circular writing, and that all of Star Wars, the writing's been circular, including the prequels. It's essentially the long version of Kennedy's ask not what you can do for your country, but what
what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country.
Yeah, where you're saying the same, you get to a point and then circle back on it. If you imagine that spread out over, it can be spread out over poems, it can be spread out over films, and in this case it's spread out over 6 films and now 7, where there's a circular storytelling. So, don't complain about it. If you like the film, you like the film. That's it. That's all that matters. What do you think the whole story arc is? Do you think it is Kylo Ren's redemption? Is Rey gonna turn to the dark side?
I don't think Rey's gonna turn to the dark side. I think Kylo Ren will redeem himself somehow, because you've never had such a conflicted baddie. You've had like Anakin, when he was, I'm a good guy, but he was such a moody little bastard. You could tell, it wouldn't take much to push him over. Whereas Kylo Ren, he's trying so hard to be bad, but there's a bit of him which is, you get the impression it's going to stay good. Yeah, doesn't just knows it's wrong.
He's like a kid that's grown up on a bad estate that has to act a certain way because otherwise he's going to get his head kicked in, but really just wants to do flower arranging or something.
Not quite like that, no.
Episode 9, flower arranging. I think that's probably it for our first video, Vikki. Thank you very much, Scully, for your help. It's been really good having you here.
Thank you, Kel.
And your input. The very next video is actually Vikki training Scully to do something, because she can actually behave at times. And I did that one earlier. It's me teaching
you how to teach your dogs to do awesome high fives, like Scully does.
As this is our first video, I should say that, like we said earlier, not every video is going to be about Star Wars. To be honest with you, we're not entirely certain what we're doing yet. We've got so many ideas. We're just going to try and get at least 1 video a week, hopefully 2, hopefully 3, eventually every day. So bear with us. Be patient with us. Some of them will be funny, some of them will be useful, some will be emotional. Sometimes we'll try and show you how to do things, other times we might tell you what we think about things. Make sure that you like and subscribe and comment. Tell us what you think about what we've been talking about. What do you think is going to happen in episodes 8 and 9? Do you think that Rey is Luke's kid? Tell us what you think on the comments bit below. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this will definitely be one of many. In case we didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning, I'm Zeon.
And I'm Zeon.
Together with the 2 Zeons. That's pretty much it.